My name is Austin Rosypal, and today we are going to learn about a volcanic eruption known as the Siberian Traps, which was the largest igneous province eruption and the cause of a mass extinction event in Earth's natural history. The Siberian Traps are located in modern-day Siberia in northeastern Russia. Compared to present day in the Holocene epoch, the Siberian Traps erupted about 252 million years ago at the end of the Permian period. The eruptions formed a large igneous province, which is a massive accumulation of mafic igneous rocks, and formed a flood basalt from all of the basaltic magma rising up from the Earth's mantle. The word steps comes from the Swedish word for stairs, trappa, indicating the stair-like structure found on the traps today. The Siberian traps were formed by a massive mantle plume that rose up through the asthenosphere and lithosphere towards the surface, eventually expelling onto the surface as lava. And 250 million years ago, the Earth was arranged in the Pangaea supercontinent, and this is where the Siberian Traps were located. The eruptions started out as explosive, but as time progressed, the eruptions turned to effusive. So it went from rock fragments erupting into the atmosphere to lava gently spilling out onto the surface. The eruptions lasted for 2 million years, from 252 to 250 million years ago, and produced a lot of volcanic outgassing in the form of toxic greenhouse gases, as well as contributed to the large igneous province by layering igneous rock sheets. The Siberian Traps is primarily responsible for the end Permian mass extinction event, known as the Great Dying, where greater than 96% of marine species perished and 70% of terrestrial species went extinct. And through dating, we know that the Siberian Traps occurred just before the mass extinction event of the end Permian, leading scientists to believe that the Siberian Traps were the primary reason of the mass extinction event occurring. These eruptions had detrimental impacts on nature, including the fact that all trilobite species went extinct, the atmosphere and oceans abruptly warmed, and led to ocean acidification, where the change in chemical nature impacted many marine species. As noted in the previous slide, the increased carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere led to warming surface and sea temperatures, eventually leading to ocean acidification and chemical changes on Earth and on water. The amount of expelled lava throughout this 2 million year period was roughly 4 million cubic kilometers, which, to give some scale, is roughly if you were to coat the entire European Union of today in a 1 kilometer deep basalt sheet. 2/3 of this amount occurred before and during the mass extinction event, and the last third occurred just after the mass extinction event. We know how old the Siberian Traps are by examining zircon crystals and the ratio of uranium to lead elements within these crystals that are extremely resilient, and we see a correspondence between the mass extinction boundary and the eruptions of the Siberian Traps. We see that the extinction rate greatly spiked around this time and biodiversity sharply plummeted, indicating the fact that the volcanic eruption had a massive impact on the mass extinctions, but life found a way to recover and biodiversity increased just after.